Welcome to Love Them Knives. We've got a special type of knife here, and I got this one at, I didn't really buy it at the SHOT Show. I bought it at the same time as the SHOT Show was going on in Vegas, but I got this from Ian at Keto USA. Now, Keto USA, Ketuo. Free shipping in the US. They have Reich knives. They have crazy other knives. And so this one is called the Naithawk. And I go, Naithawk, you mean Nighthawk, right? No, Naithawk. What does that mean? He says, well, that means mechanic in some language. I don't know what language that is, okay? But handmade material, I mean, titanium alloy, interesting knife. And I'm going to see, he sent me a couple of videos of disassembly, but obviously this is already disassembled because I finally worked up the nerve to do that. And now I'm going to attempt to put it back together on camera and show you how it goes together. That way you can reverse this video and learn how to take it apart or something like that. But they're $250 a piece. They're like a box cutter. Let's get through some of the paperwork and then let's get on to this blade. 9CR18 blade. But I looked on AliExpress and you can buy, for the Naithawk, you can buy the M390 blades, and you can buy replacement blades on Keto USA on the 9CR18. I don't know if he's going to have in the M390 blades on his site, okay? But Keto USA, that's where I'd go if I was going to buy this because you know they're in the USA, etc., etc. So, quick release system, blah, blah, blah. You can take it apart without any tools, and we're going to put it back together without any tools. And you can see the size of this, and we'll go through that later. Here's the parts inventory, okay? Here's the pocket clip, okay? And then these, we'll explain these as we go back through here, but, and let's get to the actual situation in hand, okay? Here, it says mechanic, okay? So that's the name of it. When I saw this, I thought, what do you mean, Nighthawk? No, but whatever, okay. So, I mean, this little cover, and I don't know why this goes on and off. I don't know the purpose of this specifically, but you can put it like that, and I can't remember how it originally went, if it was like that. But either way, it'll flip around that way. Here's the pocket clip here. I did not pull this off. It's kind of fiddling with it, and I'm going, I'm not sure if I turn this or what I do to disengage this pocket clip. But you know, I just decided, forget about it. You know, just leave the pocket clip alone so I don't destroy everything. Here's the blade. The blade's interesting because it's not your typical razor blade, right? It's not. And so it's not one of those you can go on Amazon and get a whole pack of replacement, you know, scalpel blades or razor blades, you know, X-Acto blades. This is different. And this is one that is ground like a normal knife blade, so you could put this, you know, on your sharpener system and you can sharpen this, right? You can resharpen this blade over and over again. So it is reusable in that regard. So let's just, I mean, it's thin. It's not 3mm or anything. It's a 1.2 millimeter thick at 0.04. Okay, so it's not a very thick blade, but you can get replacement blades. I think they're 25 bucks. So you could probably resharpen this, God only knows how many times, and then you can go to the next blade if you buy another second blade or buy an M390 blade, etc. So there's that. Okay, because you're going 250 bucks, and then what do I do if the blade gets dull? You can resharpen it, okay? Then you can also buy another blade, but if I was going to buy this, I'd buy an extra blade or two now than to wait, because a lot of these knives that are on Keto USA and other places, you know how they disappear after a while and they're gone. And then what are you going to do? So I would buy my extra blades. I'm tempted myself to go onto the AliExpress and pick up the M390 blade. And I'll see if I can put a picture of that posting from AliExpress and stick it in here so you can see that they also offer an M390. Well, let's get on with this. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? And here's this side, and I don't know if I exactly get what this is all about. And maybe I'll have to ask Ian, like, what does the 131, the V.131 mean? I don't know. And then, of course, this was held on by these little magnets here. That's not a big deal. See, and also in the disassembly thing, you can, these are little titanium. These are titanium, but these are little titanium bars that lock in the pins. And there's some pins that get locked in. And you can see that they're springy. And let me get this. This will be easier to kind of demonstrate, but see how these are? And so if I bent both of these down, I could pop them completely out of here. Okay, they're a separate, like a spring here. I mean, they're only being held in place right now because they're putting pressure here and here, right? And so actually these can be removed just like that. Okay, so there's the back side of it. There's that. And of course, these little locators are putting it in here. So that's what this is all about. And underneath you can see where they fit onto these little nubs here. So that's what these are all about, okay? And so there they are. It's back in here. And these will be used to hold in these pins here in a few minutes into position that will hold both sides together of this kind of X-Acto knife. I mean, it's kind of a utility knife, etc. So let's start out. I mean, here is a button. This button will release the blade. It's a quick release blade. And there's the hole. And this is going to interact with this and this side here with these. And so let's show you kind of how we want to assemble this. And here's the stuff, okay? Okay, here's the 3 pieces to the button, okay? And you'll see it, well, we'll show you later. But see this? This is going to be on the outside. This is the button. This is the spring that goes on this stem. And then this comes down from the inside. So this has a little collar on it. So it's going to pop in from this side, not from this side. Okay, that's going to show there, but from this side. And then we are going to put the spring on this post here, okay? So we're going to put the spring on the post. And of course, the button's not going to fall through because it's got the little collar on it. And so we got the spring on this post. Now, if you'll see, there's threads here on this, okay? And there's threads inside this cavity. So this is going to sit down on top like this. See that? Okay. And so then you got to turn this. Push and turn this because this is going to thread in. Okay. And I'll use my little fid to kind of make it more obvious what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to screw this in. Right? Keep it going, keep it going. So this was a little curious to undo because the video, if I'm going to be able to attach the video that Ian sent me, it's not a complete video of the total, specific disassembly. So there is some stuff I had to really look and guess. Okay, now it's screwed on, okay? Now you can see that the spring there does this, and we'll see how that actuates the release of the blade later. So let's roll this in here. And you know what? Looks like the cavity's there for that spring. So I'm going to guess, and let me look at the underside of this. Yeah, it looks like this is meant to mate up here and here. So that spring's going to put it in a solid position. So it's going to be like that. So we're going to have a few little things to all kind of push together when we do this, because we've got this screwed in and we got to set this up, which means we got two little springs to put in here. Two little springs. Oh yeah, baby. Two little springs, ain't gonna want to do a thing. And, okay, so I want to line it up, see where these two areas are that match up with this. I'm going to throw this baby right in the middle. I don't know if it makes that much difference on reassembly. But see, and then I got to put these springs in here, in these little cans. So they're going to be like that. Get your shit together, boys. Okay. Now the thing is, I got to flip this over, get all this lined up, keep these springs in place while I flip this all together, and I'll put the blade in last. But this... Okay, that looks all right. This looks right. Let me see. This got, yep. This got, yep. So we got button, we got button, we got closed up, we got this end piece in here. And so we got these little titanium bars here where we're going to have to put these pins in. And so here's the pin. It's got a groove on one side and not on the other. And that area with the groove is going to nestle right down underneath the edge of that. So the pin goes like that. And then, whoops, then we got to get this titanium bar to slide underneath there and hold that in place. And let's push this back out, because that titanium bar is now been a little bit dislodged, and it's got these two pins it needs to settle down on. Okay, now it's there. Okay, now this is going to have to kind of spring down to accept this pin. So we're going to put the pin in like that, and it's going to sit there and wait for us to push this bar down, and then it comes through right there. So we got to do that for all four pins, because there's what holding this together without screws. Okay, so here's the next one. Push this piece down. This kicks through and we're settled. So this piece we've got. Now we need to go to the other side. Pin and pin right there, right? So we got this pin right here. You got to slide in like this, but you got to wait for the gate to open. There you go. Now you're locked. And one more. And here you go. You're sliding in, got to wait for the gate to open, and there you go. So now we've got all this jacked together, except we don't have this in. And this will hold this in place. Looks like it's holding in place pretty good on its own. And of course, pulling this off, I didn't do it correctly, and so I kind of got this piece a bit bent, which I'll work on later. Oh, come on. Just lay in here, okay? Just slide onto the flats of that post and lock it into place like this, okay? So now that can't pop through here, and that holds that stable. Now, we've got us a knife, do we? Push this. Okay, that spring's working. This spring's working. And this up and down here. Okay. Now, you can see where this opposite piece is here and how this is set up somehow to pick that blade up, ride that up a bit so maybe you can, you know, disengage it somehow or another. And then this blade, you know what? This blade will go either way. So if you're right or left hand and you want to set it up for a lefty, you can do that. Okay, so you can do this blade any way you want, except I want it like this because this is the way I'm going to orient myself, right, towards using it like this. Okay, so there's that. And then I want to, and this is fiddly because I keep forgetting exactly how to center this and get this to where it slides on properly. So I'm going to fiddle with this a little bit because I keep forgetting the proper procedure for getting this to slide on. Okay, there we go. And I don't know what I did and what I didn't do to get that, but it's a little fiddly and I forget the procedure now. But she's on here now. She's solid. And let's get a real piece of paper. Wow. Yeah. It's definitely super scary sharp. It's basically like a razor. It's very, very sharp. So, and you know what? Now that we're into this, so you got a 2.5 inch blade basically at what, 63 millimeter, close to 2.5 inch blade, and 7 1/4 overall length at 18.5 centimeters. Okay. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I think it's just a fascinating little piece of gear, and don't even say $250 is too much money. I mean, I had a buddy who bought one of those Chavez, flipper with the razor blade in it, and what was those things? Woo! Those were expensive. And it basically just looked like a box cutter. This one is a bit more than that. And of course, it's got an impact area on here. What's unique is you can take it apart without any tools whatsoever. You can quick release the blade, flip it. You can put in a new blade. They make M390 blades for it. And it's just, I think it's way cool. And it's got a pocket clip. Yeah, I've carried it too. The pocket clip works fine. But I mean, it's got little stops, as you see from the inside, that the spring pops it up. So that's all the blade you need right there. Then that's it. Here, same way. You can see all those little stops on the inside when it was open. So, I mean, every one of these holds in place here, okay? So, whatever you want, you're right there, right there. I mean, all the way till full open, okay? So, you don't need the full open if you don't want to. You can move it back to here or even further, that kind of thing. So, and all the way back. So this is not going to come out in your pocket. Just a crazy little bit of kit. And what do we got? Yeah, a little over 3 ounces, 3.25 ounces at 92 grams. Just thought you might be interested. Oh, all the way. There we go. Big time. Whew. Good looking. Mechanic. Keto USA. You can buy these on AliExpress if you want to go to AliExpress and buy them. I just get them from Keto because they're USA. I'll get it quicker. I don't know if this makes any difference, one way or the other, how I flip this in place. I think this is supposed to go out, but I'm not sure, like with this. But, okay, whatever. Interesting. Very techy looking, right? Maybe, yeah, kind of Android, whatever. But way cool. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I just it's been a while since I got this. Before I was gonna do this, I just had to work up the nerve to do the disassembly and all this on camera because I hadn't disassembled it and I didn't know how that was gonna go. And yeah, I still got to get this little piece repositioned correctly, but we're close enough for government work. I shouldn't have been too brutal on it when I pulled it off. I think just basically you could just pull it straight off like that, and I put too much force on it. I think I bent part of that titanium there, but it's way ass cool. All right, you know what we do. We love them knives. You guys, stay sharp.